Hi, it's Mickey, and welcome back to our wonderful program of recipes. We're going to show you some really fun things to make that are going to just please everybody in your family, no matter if they are veggie based or not. It does not matter. But because what's good is good, right? So anyway, today we're doing Chinese vegetables with noodles and brown sauce. So it's really, really easy to make. It's really fast. You will be surprised. Before we forget, I need to tell you that you don't have to be exact in your measurements. Some people think that they have to be absolutely perfect in their measurements. A cup is a cup, right? 8 ounces. But in my world, this is a cup. And I think it turns out to be about 13 ounces, I think, which almost turns into 2 cups. So I do this with my bread or whatever I'm making. I always use this cup. I don't know why. Ever since I moved to Ecuador, I started using this cup instead of using a measuring cup. I don't know, it just seemed interesting. And so then, of course, with that, you have to have a spoon. Like this normally would be like a teaspoon, but I use a spoon that's a little chubbier than that so that it kind of goes along with my overactive cup measurement. So I use a little bigger spoon and just a regular spoon. Now, if you would rather use a measuring spoon, that's absolutely great. Don't worry about it. It'll all turn out too. But I just want you to know that cooking can be really casual, really relaxing, and fun. And it's always neat to see what you come up with. Now, one of the neat things I like about the veggie diet, or any diet actually, is that you can fix it any way you want. Now, in our way of eating, we do not eat oils or milk, so we can't put oil in a stir fry. And you wonder, how in the world can you stir fry without oil? Water. So just use a little bit of water. I have a warm pot, and I just put a little water in there. And you can add more as you go, as you need to. Now, I chopped up all kinds of Oriental vegetables, but if you have some particular vegetables that you'd like to add, try experimenting and add any kind of vegetables that comes to your mind that you might want to try. Now, I have 2 cups of mushrooms, and these mushrooms are the browned mushrooms. I really love the brown mushrooms. They have a lot more flavor, I think, than the white. So I just add the brown mushrooms. And I've got some bok choy. I chopped up some bok choy. If you've never tried that, you might want to try it. It's really, really good, and it's so good for you. So I'm going to dump some bok choy in here, and as usual, you know what's going to happen? My pan is not going to be big enough to hold all the stuff I pour in there. But that happens every time, and I have stuff all over the kitchen. But I understand that that's the sign of a good cook. So if anybody complains about your kitchen, just tell them, I'm just a good cook. So I have 3 cups of broccoli, because I really like broccoli a lot. And it's one of the most wonderful ingredients. Let's see, oh my gosh, I really am not going to have room for this. You know what? And this could happen to you too. Okay, the skillet's not big enough. I don't have a whole lot of skillets to choose from here. So I'm going to do something, see if this works. This pan's probably not any bigger than the skillet. So I'll try this pan. Sometimes you have to do this. Okay, so I'm moving up to another pan to stir this, and it's not. My goodness gracious. I'm using my big pot for the noodles. What am I going to do? So anyway, we're stirring it up in this other pot. At least it has some room in here. So now carrots. I love carrots. And the carrots also, I shredded up some, a whole big thing of ginger, fresh ginger. And it's really, really a delicious thing to use. And you can't make anything without onions, I don't think. So I'm going to put a whole onion in there. And you know I like the purple ones, but you can use any onions you want. So then we're going to stir everything up. And it takes a little while to be sure that everything's all stirred and cooked at the same time. And you can add water as you go so that you always have plenty of water. You don't want it soupy, but just enough like if you were stir frying. What I could use is a big skillet. I'm going to have to break for one of those. So anyway, I'm stirring the vegetables up, and we will just let them sit there and stir. And oh, I have this Chinese cabbage. In the United States, it's called Napa cabbage. Here it's called Nabochina, which means Chinese cabbage. So that's what we use, and you just chop it up in sort of bite-sized pieces and mix it around. This may not work out. I think I need a bigger pot. Anyway, I can't use a bigger pot because I've got all these noodles in here. Oh, I know. I can dump the noodles in the skillet. And then, sometimes you have to be really creative. Well, not just sometimes, all the time. You have to be flexible and creative because you never know what kind of things you're going to bump into. And my problem is always I make more than I think I'm going to make. So we always eat it, but still. Okay, here we go. We got a bigger pot. Ta-da! I don't know what we're going to do when it's time to mix the noodles in. You have to stick around for that. But anyway, let's make these things up. And here we go. Just stir all this together. And sometimes, okay, you can think about making anything. If you want to add anything to this that you like, it's really fine. The thing that makes it Chinesey to me is, of course, using the bok choy and the cabbage, and of course the spices, the sauce spice that I made. I don't know if you can, yeah, if you can see this. This is 4 heaping tablespoons of cornstarch mixed with a little water, some soy sauce, and a little, let's see, 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Here we use cane sugar, sugar cane sugar, which is, oh, so good. You could just eat it out of the spoon. But we use cane sugar. So I'm just telling you that if you are not privy to cane sugar, use some brown sugar, and dark brown or light brown, it doesn't matter. It's just according to your taste. And as you just experiment, you will find something that works just perfect for you. And I always like to change the recipe, so I don't think I ever make the same recipe twice. I have to change it around somehow or another. Like, I don't think that last time I used mushrooms, but I got some mushrooms at the store, and I thought mushrooms sound wonderful, so I chopped all those up. And let's see how we're doing here with our cooking. It does take a little while for this stuff to get ready. Not that long, but just the stirring around part, especially when you don't have the right pan. So I hope you have a big skillet. Let me know how that works. That's my dream. I used to have a big skillet before we moved here. I had a really big skillet, but now since we moved here, I use a smaller skillet. I don't know what I was thinking. So anyway, we're stirring all these vegetables up. And then let's see, I think I need a little bit more water. So don't worry about adding too much water, but just check to see how much you've got in there once you pour it in, because you don't want it to just, be like you're boiling vegetables or something. So here we go, we're stirring it all up, and now what I do is I add the sauce first, so that I can get a feel for what it's going to take, but I don't use all the sauce at once, just in case I have too much. And if you end up having too much sauce, the best trick is just add a little more water. So you're never really stuck. As you can see, if you don't have the right size pan, just get another pan, move around. Of course, it makes a mess in the kitchen, but what does that mean? You're a good cook. So here we go. We're stirring the mix here of the sauce, and I'm excited. If you don't want a sweet flavor, just leave the sugar out or just use a teeny bit. You can even use stevia if you want. If stevia is something that you really like a lot, then use stevia if you want. Just remember to use the soy sauce, because that really gives it the nice color. Some people you could put peanuts in it at the end. Peanuts, are so good in Chinese food. Oh gosh, I love peanuts in there. So now it's getting a little thick, but you want it just thick enough, but not too thick, because you're going to pour the noodles in, and you want to cover them with nice sauce and all the vegetables and everything. So here we go. Let me see if I can show you. All right, here are the vegetables and the sauce. Oh, great, I just poured it on the counter. Okay, so anyway, it's the vegetables and the sauce. So I'm just mixing those together. Yep, a little bit on the counter is not going to kill anything. So now I just add the noodles. And my noodles kind of stuck together. So I'm just going to put them in, in the pan here. I always have some left over, but the dogs love those, so that's okay. So now I'm just going to stir the noodles in, mix them all in really well. You know what would be good in here too is tofu. I got some tofu yesterday at a local restaurant. It was a vegetarian restaurant, and they have fresh tofu. So I got some, and I was going to put some in the Chinese food today. Then I forgot to cut it up. So you could add tofu if you wanted. Oh, I could think of a lot of things to add. See how the noodles mix up so fast and so well with all of the wonderful vegetables? Oh, I swear, this is such a good dish. And as you can see, it's really not very long to make when you've got the bite-sized pans, especially. Okay, so I have it all stirred up. It's all ready to go. Let me show you what it looks like. I'm so excited. This lasts for days and days and days if you put it in the refrigerator. Some people even put it in containers to take to work, so that you could just have just the right size serving for you. So here it is. This thing is, the recording thing is bothering me in the middle because I can't tell if you can see it. So anyway, there's the Chinese vegetables, brown sauce, and let's see, always taste before you salt. And that's my rule, because I've had some issues before with that. So I'm going to taste it and see how we did. Oh, You will absolutely love this. It is so easy to make, so fast. And trust me, you can use just about anything that you want to put in here. Any kind of vegetables you like. And your whole family is going to love this dish. It doesn't matter if they are vegetarians or fruitarians or any kind of vegetarians. It's going to be delicious, and it will be a big, big favorite at your house. Thank you so much for watching, and watch our next video, which is due out on Sunday. And I've had a lot of fun with you today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.